Hello, how are you? Happy Friday. Today, I'm calling it the ABCs of CBD because I know there are lots of questions. I know people have heard lots of myths. So I wanted to go over a few of them today. I just had a thought. I think it's going to be like in sections because otherwise it'll be a really long video. So today I wanted to go over basically what CBD isn't. I know there's a lot of misconceptions, and I actually searched, and I just did this in Google. I said, is CBD? And then I let it tell me what everybody's searching for. Like, is it a drug? Is it illegal? Is it bad? Is it addicting? There's so many questions about what is CBD. So I figured I would go over the basics in not so scientific words. So here we go. CBD is short for cannabidiol, which is, CBD is short for that, and that is found, it's a chemical compound found in the hemp plant. Hemp is part of the cannabis stevia plants. So it is not marijuana, they are cousins. So we have two plants, hemp, marijuana, not the same thing, and they are both part of the sativa plant. Okay, so definitely not the same thing. I know there's lots of people that think it's the same thing, or it's weed oil. I've heard, I can't even tell you how many times. It's not. It is not weed. It won't get you high, none of that. So with the hemp plant, it is high in CBD and low in THC. So like its cousin is the opposite. The marijuana plant is obviously high in THC, low in CBD. And the THC, for going backwards, is the one that will get you high, the psychoactive, the make you fail your drug test. I think we know where I'm going with that. So that's what will happen. That is not in, well, it is in certain CBDs, which I'm going to go over the different kinds in a minute. But the Farm Bill that passed in 2018 has made it federally legal that you can have 3% THC. So that is not enough to get you high, but it can be in there, and that's what the entourage effect does, and that's why it's good. And I'll get to that in a second, but just know that it is legal. The 3% is federally legal across the board, so don't worry. It's not a drug. It's legal in all 50 states as long as it's the 3% and under. So there have been, I know a lot of people like, what is full spectrum? What is this? What is this? Or I got this bottle of hemp seed oil. What's the difference? Well, I don't blame you. It's confusing. There's a lot of information out there, and then there's a lot of pop-up companies that are all of a sudden like, I want a piece of this and I'm going to make it. So one thing to know is that it is not federally regulated yet. I mean, they search for like one Epidiolex thing for seizures, but that is it. So it's kind of the wild, wild west out there. You want to make CBD? You want to market it? Go ahead. Doesn't even have to be it. So that's why I'm always stressing about how dangerous it is to just go buy any CBD. Like, never, ever buy it from a gas station, please. I have another video actually about what to look for, or I'll do one if I didn't. But the difference, well, I said hemp seed. Okay, so there is actual hemp seed oil, which sometimes you'll actually see on the bottles. I don't want to confuse you. But then that is not any form of therapeutic anything. That is literally the oil you get from the seeds of the plant. Not like, it doesn't have any cannabinoids in them, and nothing like you would need CBD for. It doesn't do any of that. It's literally just like high in good fats, and it's in a lot of skincare, sometimes makeup. You can cook with it. Like, that is hemp seed oil, and that is not the same as CBD. So just so you know, if it's marketed just for hemp seed oil, it's not CBD. And I have seen it where people think they're buying CBD in that bottle, and it is not the same thing. So just be aware of that. And then I'll just go over these ones today, is the different kinds. I know you've seen, there's the three are full spectrum, broad spectrum, and an isolate. So what that means, the full spectrum is generally the best working for most people. I don't know why there has been a thing I've seen where people are like, get the THC free one, like it's a bad thing. But it's not, and it usually actually works usually pretty amazing for everybody. I mean, there's certain reasons that you wouldn't, obviously, or just preference, but the reason you would want a full spectrum is because, like, the cannabinoids that I mentioned in the beginning, that there's, I think, up to like 140 cannabinoids in the hemp plant. And actually, your body naturally makes them, if you did not know this. So your body naturally produces cannabinoids, and they are all over your body. And they help with, sleeping, mood, appetite, literally everything. So it's a whole nother system you have in your body that makes them and needs them, and you need to replace them. And until now, we didn't have anything to do that. It's not like a pill you could take to, re-energize your endocannabinoid system. I'll do another video on that. I actually was going to, but your endocannabinoid system in your body is the main system. And that is the one that is in charge of everything. Your circulatory, respiratory, all those systems are run by the top one, which is your endocannabinoid, which is where all those receptors are. So I don't want to get too detailed, but it's huge, because now that it's legal, people have a way to replenish that and change their lives. That's why this is such a big, there's so much hype and buzz around the whole CBD world, is because it's been called like the miracle cure. And obviously it's not a cure, but it does kind of feel like it is, because it affects everybody differently. Depending on what your body's lacking, it's going to fix it. So it's pretty amazing. So, sorry, off on a tangent. So the broad spectrum, or full spectrum, is all of the compounds in the cannabinoids in the plant that naturally happen. It's the little bit of THC, the CBD, and all the other ones that are in there. That will give the entourage effect, and that's what works the best when you're using it for whatever reason you're using it. Is the full spectrum will give you that whole effect. So then they have taken it usually for people that have drug testing. Obviously, you still want to be able to get the benefits of it, but you don't want to fail a drug test for work. So they have taken, with broad spectrum, is all of the cannabinoids and everything that's in there. It's the same as the full spectrum. They have just taken the THC part out. So that's your next best, I would say, is going with the broad spectrum, because it's got all the same things that you need, and it does work amazing all together. It's like turning on all the light switches. That's how I always think of it. So step down is the broad spectrum with just the THC removed, and people have amazing results with that. And then the other that you'll hear about is an isolate, or just CBD, like straight CBD that's been extracted a couple times through all those, and it's just left with the CBD only. I honestly never have a reason to use it, but there is a time and a place for everybody, so it's good to have options, but I just wanted to let you know what that is. So there you have full spectrum, broad spectrum, isolate. And yes, now everybody's got another product out there, but I wanted to go over those three basic ones, because the most effective way to take it is, it's called sublingually, like under your tongue. You put it under and you leave it for about a minute so it gets absorbed the fastest through your bloodstream. That's what I usually recommend, and I know there's other ones. I'll do more videos about different ways and hows, but I just wanted to get that out to you today. And if you have any questions, or if you want the whole list of, what it is and what it does and what to look for and all that, obviously send me a message or a comment and I will get that to you. And obviously, if you have any questions or anything, I'm always happy to help. I could talk about this stuff all day long. So you guys have an amazing weekend, and I will be back because it is National Sleep Week next week. So I have lots to say. All right, have a good weekend.